waving the flag is great, but Mother Nature does not have any boundaries. And so all of these environmental issues cross every border, every culture, and we need to think a little bit more about how we treat this environment. Mexico is such a beautiful place. I love Mexico. And to see it harmed like this, and to see it violated by this garbage, it breaks my heart. But we do what we can, and hopefully we're going to make a difference. Even a little difference, I'll be very happy with. So.
6 years ago, Barry Munro and his wife moved from the United States to live full-time in Bucerias on the Pacific coast of Mexico, near the city of Puerto Vallarta, a major tourist area. The story of the recycling project in Bucerias began when Barry volunteered to help with cleanups of litter around the town centre, organized by a group of expatriates called Amigos de Bucerias.
While I was a member of this committee and participated in these cleanups, I noticed all of the plastic bottles. Plastic bottles everywhere in Bucerias, on the streets, on the sidewalks, around the garbage cans, in the garbage cans, on the beach, in the plaza. Everywhere you looked, plastic bottles.
In 2006, Barry decided to see if something could be done to get some recycling going.
So we started very slowly, just letting friends and neighbors know that we were collecting plastic on Thursday mornings, and if they had any plastic, please set a bag out by your front stoop. And we just started on one of the main streets in Bucerias. And it didn't take long before we needed a much bigger pickup than mine to pick up all this plastic. So a local businessman, Frank Meyer, donated the use of one of his bigger trucks, Stateside, and soon we were having that completely full every week and taking it into Puerto Vallarta, where we would make a few pesos. And soon that became too small. The idea of recycling is wonderful, but then when you collect it all, you have a huge amount of plastic. And now what do you do with it? So you need an area to store it. Another wonderful businessman here in Bucerias, David Velasco, owns a vivero, a nursery. And he donated one of his lots, which is completely enclosed by a fence, and it has 2 large truck gates. And he has donated that for the recyclers to use at no cost. And this has just been a tremendous thing for us because it allowed us to set up a sorting station where we can clean all of the garbage and non-recyclable items out of what we collect. We do this every Thursday morning. We have anywhere from 4 to 10 volunteers that will show up on any given day. And they help us sort through all of this plastic. We usually sort for about 2.5 hours because it just gets a little hot. And the work, I must confess, is very dirty and not to everybody's taste. The area that we have, this lot, you can drive the truck and the trailer in, unload all of the bags, then the sorters get to work and they sort on a big long table, and they separate the plastic from the garbage, and they put it into large, what they call jumbo bags down here, which are big canvas bags.
These bags are then weighed and taken away by a local factory, which breaks the plastic bottles into tiny chips. The factory pays money of varying amounts depending on the type of plastic.
We have PET plastic, which is Coca-Cola bottles, any Refrescos, water bottles. We have what they call the mixed color, that would be bleach bottles, fabric softeners, detergents, motor oil containers. That's all made out of a high density plastic. There is also the plastic which milk comes in, the white plastic. That down here is called lechero. We have to separate the lechero from all of the other plastics because we get more money for that. When it gets to the refinery, they do the first step in the refinement. They have huge chipping machines that they feed all the plastic through. Comes out in little tiny chips of plastic when it's done. It goes into bags, and from there it's sent to Guadalajara. Now, once it gets to Guadalajara, I can't speak of what happens to it there, but I know it gets refined again and then sold to somebody else. People ask a lot why it's all a bunch of gringos doing this. The answer is because the Mexican people work. They're either raising families, working at jobs. They are very industrious and hardworking people here in Mexico. And they're trying to feed their families and take care of the business. We, on the other hand, speaking for myself and my volunteers, most of us are retired, semi-retired. We have a lot of time on our hands and we need something to do. And this is a perfect spot for us to practice our public service. And, well, why don't we hire some Mexicans? Well, I'm sorry, when you only get 2 pesos for a kilo of plastic, 2 pesos doesn't go very far to hire somebody. A full-time level, definitely not. A part-time level is even very, very difficult because people want more of an income. Okay, they need a little bit more than part-time. And all of us work for nothing. Our trucks we donate, our gasoline we donate, much of the equipment we donate, our time and energy, of course, all donated. The money that we get from selling the plastic all comes back to Bucerias. We use part of it to buy garbage cans for the streets. We use part of it for more material for the baskets. Baskets don't last a long time. They get trampled, run over, have to be replaced from time to time. We have purchased food, clothing, appliances for the local orphanage, Casa Hogar. We have donated to the local community center. We have donated to the Amigos de Bucerias. We have sponsored children for summer school projects and programs. So all of the money that we get for this goes back into the community. In some way or form, we try and use it to better Bucerias.
Sí, es muchos. Esta diseño es muy fácil.
Last Thursday at the Bucerias Recycling Center, a man and a woman from a small town down the road from us, Mezcales, came and talked to me about starting a recycling program in their town. They knew about the Bucerias recycling program and they wanted to emulate something similar in their town. And so we talked for quite a while about how we do things in Bucerias and the way we started and what is recyclable and what's not recyclable. And they wanted to do something I thought was very admirable. They wanted to get the school children to help out with the recycling program. And I told them that was a fantastic way to not only get volunteer help, but a fantastic way to start educating our young people here in Mexico, because they're the ones that are going to change Mexico. When I travel the streets of Bucerias doing my collection, I always have a large container of paletas, or better known in English as lollipops. And I pass those out to the kids I see on the street. I pass those out to the grandmothers I see on the streets. I pass them out to different people. And it's a great icebreaker. People go, well, what are you doing? What are you doing with this plastic? Where does it go? What happens to it? Are you making a lot of money? They all think I'm getting rich, and once I explain how much we get paid for plastic, they go, oh my God, why are you doing that? You're making no money. That's silly, you know? But it's just the way it is. But the children now run out, and when they see the truck, they carry their little bags of plastic bottles. They come out to me, they dump them in the bags. We thank them, give them poletas, and we have a whole little troop of children out on the streets of Bucerias now that are enjoying the poletas and recycling. So they're getting a little reward and we're getting a little reward. And hopefully it will go farther than that their parents start to recycle as well. In the school system, I have visited with the principals of all of the primary schools in Bucerias and talked to them about recycling and asked them if they have recycling programs in their schools, and none of them did. And I said, well, how about if we put a recycling basket inside the schoolyard so the kids can recycle their plastic bottles here at the school? Oh, that would be a great idea. So now all of the primary schools in Bucerias have recycling baskets inside the schoolyard. So we're hopefully educating by example there as well.
Unfortunately, we have nobody who will buy plastic bags. This kind of plastic bag, those kind of plastic bags out there.
We have invited groups of school children, different classes, to come to the recycling center to watch the operation there. The teachers bring a group of children out and we explain how it goes. They get to get their hands dirty right along with the rest of us, sorting plastic and seeing how it all goes and what happens to the plastic that is in those canastas, where it goes from the side of the road. Then it comes to our recycling center. We sort through it and we get it ready to go to the next step in the operation, to the refinement of the plastic. We've made sure that all of the schools know that anytime they're welcome to come by and see the operation here in Bucerias. Anybody and everybody is welcome to come by and ask questions, talk with us, see what goes on. So we're trying to give them a good foundation by teaching the respect for Mother Nature, for the planet itself, and also self-respect. This goes a long ways, you know. If you want to be a respected person, you need to do good things. And recycling is a good thing. So you start there, you never know where it's going to lead, especially with children.